It was a warm, sun-soaked morning in Phoenix, Arizona, 1989. The desert air carried the scent of blooming cacti, and the city streets were already alive with commuters and the hum of daily life. Among the residents, Sofia Martinez, 25, was preparing for another day as a community outreach coordinator at the Desert Horizon Youth Center. Sofia was known for her compassion, energy, and creativity. She dedicated her life to mentoring children and organizing programs that encourage curiosity, self-expression, and teamwork. Families and colleagues spoke of her dedication, her ability to inspire confidence in young people, and the way she approached every task with patience and positivity. Outside her professional life, Sofia enjoyed painting, hiking in the nearby mountains, and volunteering at local libraries. Her apartment reflected her vibrant personality, filled with art, books, and mementos from students and friends. Her presence in the community was quietly influential, a beacon of encouragement and inspiration. On July 12, 1989, Sofia planned to visit a local art supply store to gather materials for an upcoming youth program. She carried a tote filled with notebooks, brushes, and planning documents, items carefully prepared in her usual organized manner. This routine, intentional and structured, reflected the care she put into every project and every interaction with the children she mentored. By late afternoon, Sofia had not returned home. Her roommate, Monica Rivera, grew concerned and called Sofia's parents, Carlos and Elena Martinez. Worried, the family went to her apartment. Everything appeared in order. Her tote was neatly placed on the kitchen counter, her notebook open on the dining table, and her art supplies arranged with care. Yet Sofia's absence created a quiet tension that contrasted sharply with her normally vibrant presence. The Phoenix Police Department, led by Detective Lisa Grant, was called to investigate. Initial observations revealed no signs of forced entry or disruption. Investigators canvassed the neighborhood, spoke with store employees, and reviewed any available surveillance footage. Flyers were distributed, and community volunteers joined the search, reflecting the city's hope and support for Sofia's safe return. Witness statements offered limited clarity. Sofia was known for her calm, organized lifestyle, and there were no known conflicts or disputes in her life. Her sudden disappearance puzzled friends, family, and colleagues. Community searches focused on support and hope, emphasizing a positive approach rather than speculation. Weeks turned into months, yet leads remained minimal. Detective Grant's team meticulously documented every detail, from interviews to environmental observations, laying the groundwork for long-term investigation. Every step emphasized respect for Sofia's life and the community's trust. By 1990, the case became a monitored cold case. Sofia's belongings, notebook, tote, and art supplies were carefully preserved. Community initiatives in her honor emerged. The Sofia Martinez Youth Arts Fund provided scholarships, creative workshops, and mentorship opportunities, ensuring her influence and dedication to children continued despite uncertainty. Over the next decade, advances in forensic technology offered new investigative possibilities. DNA analysis, fingerprint comparison, and environmental testing allowed investigators to revisit preserved materials, offering hope for breakthroughs unavailable in 1989. Detective Grant retired in 2001, passing the case to Detective Nathan Reyes, known for his expertise in long-term cold cases. Reyes emphasized the importance of careful review of archival records, forensic evidence, and community memories, combining modern techniques with respect for Sofia's legacy. By 2010, overlooked details from archival records began to surface. Store receipts, library visit logs, and notes in Sofia's tote provided subtle insights. One store clerk, Angela Thompson, recalled minor interactions with Sofia that helped clarify her movements and contacts on the day she disappeared. Through careful reconstruction, investigators mapped Sofia's path from her apartment to the art supply store. Each preserved item, notebooks, tote contents, and personal artifacts, was analyzed to uncover potential interactions or environmental traces. Archival records combined with modern forensics to reveal a clearer picture of her final day. Community initiatives continued. Schools implemented art programs inspired by Sophia's teaching, volunteer organizations expanded mentorship opportunities, and libraries hosted creative workshops. The focus remained on celebrating her life, preserving her positive impact while investigators pursued new leads. By 2015, DNA analysis of preserved materials revealed traces previously undetectable. Cross-referenced with archival documentation, these traces indicated contact with an individual not previously considered. Evan Caldwell, a contractor who had occasionally worked near the youth center and art supply store. Detective Reyes approached the lead with care. Employment logs, neighborhood records, and community recollections allowed the team to reconstruct Caldwell's presence. Each observation, testimonial, and forensic detail was meticulously documented to maintain ethical integrity and respect for Sophia's memory. By 2017, forensic testing confirmed subtle interactions between Caldwell and Sophia's belongings, including fingerprints and trace materials. Each detail strengthened the case, forming a verifiable chain of evidence. Structured interviews with Caldwell were conducted under strict legal and ethical standards. Initially cautious, Caldwell gradually disclosed interactions with Sophia, helping clarify previously ambiguous aspects of her movements on that day. By mid-2018, investigators had verified a comprehensive timeline. Archival records, forensic evidence, and witness testimony formed a coherent narrative, connecting previously unlinked details. Every preserved item, movement, and interaction contributed to understanding events that had remained unresolved for nearly 3 decades. Community programs continued to honor Sophia's legacy. Schools and libraries hosted workshops, mentorship programs thrived, and educational initiatives expanded. Her influence remained central to the community, inspiring new generations and reinforcing her dedication to nurturing creativity, learning, and personal growth. By early 2019, the groundwork for legal action was underway. DNA evidence, fingerprints, and corroborated testimony formed a strong foundation. Detective Reyes coordinated with prosecutors to ensure a clear, ethical, and verifiable case, maintaining focus on Sophia's life and legacy. By late 2019, Detective Nathan Reyes and his team began meticulously reconstructing Evan Caldwell's presence near key locations in Phoenix during 1989. Employment logs, neighborhood records, and archival documentation confirmed his temporary assignments near the Desert Horizon Youth Center and the local art supply store where Sophia had planned to gather materials. Every record was carefully cross-referenced with witness statements and preserved belongings to form a coherent timeline. Colleagues and neighbors described Caldwell as courteous, quiet, and methodical in his work. He had volunteered occasionally in community programs, supervised youth activities under guidance, and interacted minimally with children in structured settings. While there had been no prior concerns, investigators noted subtle patterns in his movements that coincided with Sophia's final day. Sophia's preserved items, tote bag, notebooks, and art supplies became pivotal in the investigation. Advanced forensic testing revealed fingerprints, trace fibers, and environmental evidence suggesting contact with Caldwell. Each item, meticulously preserved for decades, offered insights that could finally clarify the mystery surrounding her disappearance. Community engagement remained central. Schools, libraries, and volunteer groups continued programs inspired by Sophia, emphasizing creativity, mentorship, and learning. Art exhibitions, literacy workshops, and youth mentorship initiatives kept her legacy alive while investigators focused on uncovering the remaining details of the case. By early 2020, forensic breakthroughs offered further clarity. DNA analysis identified traces previously undetectable, and fingerprints from archival records matched samples from Caldwell. Environmental traces from Sophia's tote and other belongings corroborated her presence at locations associated with Caldwell. These findings, combined with archival documentation and witness accounts, formed a strong evidentiary framework. Detective Reyes coordinated structured interviews with Caldwell, adhering strictly to legal and ethical protocols. Initially hesitant, Caldwell gradually disclosed interactions with Sophia on the day she visited the art supply store. These statements clarified ambiguous points in the timeline and aligned with forensic evidence, providing the final pieces necessary to complete the reconstructed narrative. By mid-2020, investigators had verified a comprehensive timeline of Sophia's last day. Archival records, forensic evidence, and witness testimony combined to create a coherent understanding of her movements and interactions. Each piece reinforced the others, forming a clear and verifiable account of events that had remained unresolved for 30 years. With the timeline established, Detective Reyes collaborated closely with prosecutors to prepare for legal action. Every item of evidence, forensic samples, archival documentation, and witness statements was cataloged and verified to ensure clarity, integrity, and ethical presentation. The focus remained on honoring Sophia's life, emphasizing her positive impact on the community throughout the investigation and upcoming trial. The arrest operation was carefully coordinated with local authorities, emphasizing procedural integrity and safety. Law enforcement ensured that the process respected both community sentiment and the dignity of all involved, aiming for resolution rather than sensationalism. In February 2021, Evan Caldwell was taken into custody. He was presented with the evidence linking him to Sophia's preserved belongings, including DNA matches, fingerprints, and corroborated statements. The arrest was conducted with professionalism, emphasizing clarity, respect, and resolution while maintaining ethical standards. Following the arrest, the case file was meticulously organized for prosecution. Every piece of evidence, from forensic samples to archival documentation and witness statements, was cataloged and verified. Schools, libraries, and community programs continued initiatives in Sophia's honor, ensuring that her influence remained central even as legal proceedings progressed. Detective Reyes reflected on the significance of the investigation. Decades of patient, methodical work, combined with modern forensic technology and careful archival research, had finally uncovered the truth. Archival records, preserved belongings, and witness statements allowed the team to solve a mystery that had persisted for 30 years, all while honoring Sophia's life and positive impact. By mid-2021, prosecutors had prepared a comprehensive case. DNA evidence, fingerprints, environmental traces, and Caldwell's statements formed a compelling foundation for trial. Schools and community organizations highlighted Sophia's legacy, emphasizing mentorship, creativity, and education as central to both the case and ongoing community engagement. Community programs continued to thrive. Scholarships in Sophia's name enabled children to pursue art and educational endeavors. Mentorship programs encouraged engagement and personal growth, and libraries hosted workshops reflecting her dedication to learning and creativity. Her life became a guiding influence for future generations, inspiring participation, curiosity, and personal development. By early 2022, all trial preparations were complete. Every detail, from forensic verification to archival documentation and community testimony, was carefully reviewed. Prosecutors focused on clarity, accuracy, and respect for Sophia's life and contributions, ensuring that the courtroom presentation emphasized her legacy as well as the resolution of the case. Community programs continued to expand in anticipation of the trial. Schools reported growing participation in creative and educational programs. Libraries hosted ongoing exhibitions and workshops, and mentorship initiatives flourished. Sophia's influence remained central to the community, reinforcing values of creativity, compassion, and personal growth. By mid-2022, the case was ready for the courtroom. Every preserved item, witness account, and forensic verification had been reviewed and organized. The combination of meticulous investigation, modern forensic science, and sustained community engagement provided a strong foundation for a respectful and successful resolution. By early 2023, the trial of Evan Caldwell began, drawing attention not for sensationalism, but for the story of Sophia Martinez, a young woman whose dedication, creativity, and mentorship had left a lasting mark on Phoenix. Detective Nathan Reyes and the prosecution team meticulously presented decades of forensic evidence, archival documentation, and verified witness statements. DNA matches, fingerprints, and environmental traces formed a clear, ethical narrative that emphasized Sophia's life, character, and enduring influence. Sophia's family, Carlos, Elena, and Miguel Martinez, attended every session with quiet dignity. They shared stories of Sophia's warmth, creativity, and ability to inspire confidence in children. Friends, colleagues, and former students testified about her contributions, highlighting her influence not just as an educator, but as a mentor and community leader. Prosecutors emphasized clarity, precision, and respect for Sophia's life. Every piece of evidence, forensic breakthroughs, archival records, and witness testimony, reconstructed her final day and the events leading to her disappearance. Caldwell's statements corroborated the evidence, providing clarity and resolution to a case unresolved for more than 30 years. Detective Reyes underscored the importance of ethical investigation, patience, and dedication in uncovering truth while honoring Sophia's legacy. Outside the courtroom, the Phoenix community celebrated Sophia's life. Schools expanded art and literacy programs inspired by her teaching methods. Libraries hosted workshops and mentorship initiatives flourished. Public programs emphasized creativity, learning, and personal development, transforming decades of uncertainty into a legacy of inspiration. By mid-2023, the trial concluded successfully. Caldwell's statements, corroborated by forensic evidence, provided closure for the Martinez family and clarity for the community. The case became an example of how patient investigation, ethical procedures, and modern forensic science can resolve long-standing mysteries while centering the life and legacy of the person at the heart of the story. Throughout the proceedings, the Martinez family emphasized remembrance over grievance. They expanded the Sophia Martinez Youth Arts Fund, offering scholarships, volunteer mentorship programs, and educational workshops for children pursuing art and creative endeavors. Libraries, schools, and community centers hosted exhibitions, workshops, and mentorship programs reflecting her values, ensuring her influence continued to grow. Annual events celebrated Sophia's life. Student art exhibitions showcased creativity inspired by her work, literacy programs encouraged youth engagement, and mentorship initiatives promoted personal development. Each event highlighted her dedication, positivity, and nurturing spirit, transforming her influence into a living, ongoing legacy. Detective Reyes reflected on the broader significance of the investigation. This case shows that careful preservation, patience, and ethical investigation can uncover truth even decades later. Most importantly, we honored Sophia's life at every stage. Her story guided the investigation and inspired the community. Schools and community organizations reported thriving participation in programs inspired by Sophia. Children engaged in creative projects, literacy workshops, and mentorship programs, developing skills and confidence while learning values she championed. Volunteers and educators cited her example as a guiding principle, reinforcing her influence across multiple generations. By late 2023, Sophia Martinez's presence was felt throughout Phoenix. Programs in her honor provided children with opportunities to explore creativity, mentorship, and personal growth. Libraries, schools, and community centers became spaces where her philosophy and dedication continued to thrive. The Martinez family, relieved by the resolution, focused on sustaining programs that reflected Sophia's values. Scholarships, mentorship initiatives, and educational workshops became permanent programs, ensuring her influence endured. Volunteers and educators incorporated her example into youth programs, preserving her dedication to nurturing curiosity, creativity, and learning. By early 2024, the community had fully embraced Sophia Martinez's legacy. Schools reported growing participation in creative programs. Libraries hosted ongoing exhibitions and workshops, and mentorship programs expanded citywide. Her life served as a model of positive influence, demonstrating that dedication, creativity, and compassion could leave a lasting mark on an entire community. The resolution of the cold case marked not an end, but a continuation of Sophia Martinez's influence. Through educational initiatives, mentorship programs, and community outreach, her life continued to guide, inspire, and transform. Phoenix had turned decades of uncertainty into an enduring story of hope, creativity, and positive legacy. Sophia Martinez's story became a beacon for communities confronting unresolved challenges. It demonstrated how careful investigation, ethical procedures, and modern forensic technology could provide clarity while honoring the values and legacy of the person at the center of the case. By mid-2024, students, volunteers, and community leaders continued to reflect on her life. Programs inspired by her teaching and mentorship reached hundreds of children, instilling creativity, curiosity, and confidence. Her influence extended beyond classrooms into the heart of the community, leaving a permanent legacy of inspiration and positive action. The Arizona 1989 cold case had finally reached resolution, yet Sophia Martinez's story continued to thrive. Her creativity, dedication, and nurturing spirit left an indelible mark on Phoenix. Through community programs, mentorship initiatives, and educational opportunities, her legacy lived on, a reminder that a single life lived with purpose can inspire countless others and leave a lasting positive impact on the world.